Guys, I hope you're having a great day and learning a lot, even though the sub is there. I hope this video will help you finish your test corrections, and then we'll move on to the next unit, factoring, on Wednesday, so that's exciting. So we're on page 22, and we're writing a system of inequalities. So that means we're going to have two or more equations, right? So we have two lines, a solid and a dashed. Okay, so if I'm looking at the solid line, I know there's going to be a little equal there. And the solid line is shaded above, right? So that would be a greater than or equal to. Okay. So, and then I just need to know, all right, so what's the slope and the y-intercept? So if I look at the points on the line, okay, at where they cross these hash marks and kind of look for the pattern here, that'll tell me the slope. I know I go up 1 and over 1, right? Up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. So that would be a slope of 1. And then x always is after the slope. Okay, and then if I'm doing the y-intercept, I look right here. Here's where it crosses the y-axis, so the y-intercept, and it's actually right at the origin, because here's the x-axis right here. And so this would be the origin, so it would be plus 0, right? Or just y is greater than or equal to x, right? Because if it's a slope of 1, I don't need the 1, and if it's plus 0, I don't need that. Okay, so that's one of my equations. Now the other one is the dashed line, and the dashed line is going horizontal, right? So that means that would be like a hoy, right? If it's a horizontal line, that would be hoy. It's horizontal, 0 slope, and it's going to be y is equal to something. Now, since it's shaded below the horizontal line, all right, if you look, it's shaded below the horizontal line, so that would be a less than. So I'm going to write, kind of looks like a L, less than. And since it's dashed, there's no little equal sign, it's just less than. And I said the slope was 0, right? So it would be like 0x, right? The slope is in front of the x. And then my y-intercept would be, oh, actually, so there's 0, 0, so that would be 1, 2. So it crosses at y equals 2. Okay. So what that would look like if I simplify that would be y is less than, now 0 times x is 0, so that goes away, and then I just have the 2, so y is less than 2. Okay, and if you type in these two equations, y is greater than or equal to x, and y, I'll box them. Okay, that's one equation for the solid line, and this is the other equation for the dashed line. If you type those in, it should look just like this picture here, so you can check yourself. Okay, and then on this puzzle, these are nice. They're already in slope-intercept form. So remember, you start with the y-intercept first. So I'll do my -1. And then the slope is in front of the x. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. Now there is this equal sign, so I know it's going to be solid. And it's a less than, it kind of looks like that L, so I'm going to shade below the line. And then I'm going to do the other equation. Okay. There is no x, right? There's 0 x's. So this is like a hoy, right? There's 0 x's, so it's a horizontal line, but I've got y equals -3. So this is my y-intercept is -3. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3. So there's my y-intercept. And it has this equals here, so it's going to be solid, horizontal. So I'll draw it just like that. That's my horizontal line. And it's greater than, so I'm going to shade above, right? Greater than means you go above the line. Okay, so this would be shaded above. Okay, and where my solution is where they're both shaded, right? Right in here. And that covers the word end. Okay, that is all covered up. So I'm going to come down here where I see ones. I'm going to put the 3 letters end, E-N-D. So here are my 3 ones, so I'm going to write E-N-D. Okay. And then this is slope-intercept form, so you can go ahead and do that one. This one has 1 in slope-intercept and 1 in standard. So I'll do one more. We've got a slope of 1, and my y-intercept would be 0 because it's like there's a plus 0 here, right? So my y-intercept is 0. My slope is 1, so up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. But see how this does not have that equal sign, right? It's just the less than. So I'm going to make that a dashed line. So if a point is on this dashed line, it's not part of the solution. And now it's a L, right? Sort of. So I'm going to shade below. It's less than. So let's shade below here. So there is my less than. And then now for my other one, it's in standard form, so I have to put it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to get the y by itself. So I'll write this over here, plus 2y greater than 4. So I want the y by itself, so I'm going to minus 3x on both sides, so that goes away, and I get 2y greater than minus 3x plus 4. And then I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So I get y is greater than -3 over 2 times x, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my y-intercept here is going to be 2. So here's my 0, 0. So here's my y-intercept is at 2, positive 2. And now my slope is -3 over 2. So I'm going to go down 3 and over 2. Down 3 and over 2. Okay, or I can go up 3 and left 2. Okay, because either way, as long as I have a negative and a positive, it's going to be a negative slope. And notice there's no equal sign, so this is going to be dashed 2. Okay, and you can just type this into Desmos to check it and see if it matches what you've got here. Now I'm going to shade above, right? It's greater than, so I'm shading above. All right, and then the solution is going to be where they're both shaded. Okay, And then I want the 3 letters, so that's going to be the IST is what goes, and this is number 4. Okay, that's what the directions say. The directions say um, the shading, right, is going to cover 3 letters, and it says print these letters in the 3 boxes, okay, with the number. So I'm going to find that number 4, and I'm going to write these 3 letters, IST. So number 4 is going to be IST. Okay. So if you have standard form, right, you need to get it in this slope-intercept form here. And you can just do that in your journal so you have some room. All right, that's page 23. And then page 24 is just more practice with being able to graph equations. That's so important. So let's do it again. We've got, remember, you start with the y-intercept here. You do this first. So that would be a -3. And then now my slope here is -4/3. So I'm going to go up 2, 3, 4, and then left 3. Okay. And then this has a little equal sign, so that's going to be a solid line. And it's a less than, so I'm shading below. Okay. And then this one, I've got a y-intercept of +3, so here's my +3. And then my slope is 2/3, so I'm going to go up 2 and over 3. Okay. Or I can go down 2 and left 3. And then this is a greater than or equal to, so it's solid. And greater than means you shade above. Okay, and then the solution is going to be where they're both shaded. Okay, right here is where they're both shaded. So that is the solution. And we're just going to practice these. Go ahead and finish those page 24. Make sure you can do them all. And then this is more of the same. So remember, you start with your y-intercept first. So I'm at -3 here. And then you're going to do the slope. And it's -2, so you can make that be -2 over 1, right? So I can go down 2 and over 1. That would be a negative slope. Or then I could go up 2 and left 1, up 2 and left 1. And see if I connect these, that's a negative slope. Okay, it has to be a negative slope. And it's going to be dashed because there's no equal sign. So I'll make this be dashed. And now it's greater than. Okay, so I'm going to shade above. And then doing the bottom one here. All right, I've got a y-intercept of +2. So here's my +2. And then my slope is 1/2. So I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Or I can go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. And this does have a little equal sign there, so that's going to be solid. And it's greater than, so this one is also going to be shaded above. Okay, and then my solution is where those shading overlaps, where they were both shaded. Okay, so right in there. Okay, very good. So that is page 25, and I believe we did this one in class. Remember, if you have x by itself, right, that would be a vox, right? So that's a vertical line, all right, where x is crosses the, here's my x-axis, so it crosses at 2. Okay, and that's going to be a vertical line, and it's going to be solid because that's an equal. And then it's a less than, right? So I'm going to shade this way. Okay. And then this one right here is a y is greater than 3. So this would be a hoy. So that's a 0 slope. That's horizontal. And the y is at positive 3. And it's dotted, so it would be like this. And again, just type those into Desmos to check your work, okay, to check how to shade. And then you can always check your intercept, your y-intercept, and your slope using Desmos. But these are all in standard slope-intercept form, so they should be easy to graph. Okay, so that was 22 to 25. And I'll go ahead and stop there, and then I'll have a separate video for the review.